Good evening, everyone. Merry Christmas, and welcome to Riderpiece Theater. Me, Alistair Dayhawk. Tonight, we proud to present Kamen Rider Geats, Episode 16, The Fox Hunt. Let the fun begin. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, filthy mortals, you. Welcome to the last episode of the year. And I can't believe it. It's already Christmas and next year is already the New Year's. My God, mortal time goes by really fast. Me, I'm an immortal, so it's unaffected. I lived through countless lifetimes and I can never figure out how time goes by really, really fast. Even I don't have mastery over time. Unfortunately, we all have our masters, I guess. Whatever. But in this episode, we've learned that there is someone above the game master. And mind you, last Sunday, I thought that this cannot be it. This cannot be what Yuya has intended to be the shocking factor and the earth-shattering thing that can really shake it up when it comes to the Geats storyline. This one takes the cake. I'm sorry, Michinaga. It's just, I'm sorry. It provided the shock factor, I guess, but this episode was something that gave me the shock factor and the storyline and all that good stuff. So, enough about that, shall we? Let us begin with the recap to the tale of the fox hunt. Okay? So, again, no K-Walk Chronicles, unfortunately. I'm still want those K-Wa Chronicles back with the whole terror in K-Wa's eyes, the concern and the worry. Oh, I miss that. I feed off of that. But unfortunately, we have Sumori doing her chronicles. Mind you, she's doing all the whispering because she's at the Temple of Desire. All the while, you see Girori, you see Keiwa, and you see Neon. And he officially announced this new mini tournament, I guess. It's called the Fox Hunt. And in order to win this game and become the next goddess or god of desire, you need to kill a fox. Ace. And, of course, Sumeri, after she does her chronicles, listens in and jumps in and just says, this is against the rules, but obviously he shuts her down. So we move on from the opening credits. We see Neon standing on a bridge, and you see Keiwa in a warehouse area, I believe, and both of them have conflicts of interest here. They're conflicted on what to do because regardless of how Ace has treated them, most likely Keiwa, after the whole few incidents, they still feel that Ace is a friend of theirs and they don't want to kill him, obviously. So Keiwa has conflicted thoughts, and it's obvious that he doesn't want to go through with it. Then Girori appears and just reminds him of what's at stake. Aside from the world being saved, his wish of returning everybody back to life is on the line here. And he offers him the Rising Buckle as, something that could help him win against Ace. So you can tell, the manipulation and preying on his desires, Keiwa's desires, because he wants Keiwa to be the one to kill Ace. Because in the whole entire episode, he never appeared before Neon, just Keiwa. So meanwhile, you have Neon again having second thoughts until she sees, these hounds, these rider hounds, as I like to call them, fighting against Ace. But these rider hounds, all of a sudden, as they were about to attack, they end up leaving. And then Ace turns around and sees Neon. And Ace, figured it out so quickly. And come on, it's plainly obvious too. That he figured, well, so it's your job to kill me and you become the goddess of desire, while I have to kill you guys in order to win. And still be the god of desire. But poor Neon, she is so conflicted, she doesn't know what to do. But Ace again asks Neon the same question. What is it that you want? What is it that you want to do? And as she was about to answer, zombie mind control Pumpjack jumps in and attacks Ace. And then back to Girori and Keiwa, he ends up showing Ace's wish to Keiwa in the hopes of Keiwa changing his mind. And then going back to Pumpjack and Ace, you see Ace trying to shoot Pumpjack, but he hesitated. Then all of a sudden, we witness an explosion, and then afterwards, we get to see on Keiwa's phone that Pumpjack is gone, so he is dead. And then Tsumori and Girori are at the Temple of Desire, witnessing the whole thing. Girori is pretty much in his last jab at Pumpjack after he is dead, that he's useless. And Tsumori again just confronts him and just tells him this is against the rules. You shouldn't be doing this, but everything he is doing, according to him, is for the greater good for the DGP. But it's obvious what he's trying to do. He is trying to protect its secrets because he doesn't want Ace to be a part of the DGP. So he is misconstruing the greater good to his own personal desires, and of course, hatred is a strong word, I guess, but his own, let's say, dislike towards Ace after how many tournaments he won, and his wishes are pretty much trying to discover the DGP secrets. So in his way, he's trying to make him stop by any means less necessary, for the greater good, mind you, for the greater good. So Keiwa and Neon are at the waiting lounge, and she makes her decision that she wants to fight in her own way, while poor Keiwa is still on the fence on what to do. And all the while you see Tsumori attending to Ace's wounds, and Ace is like, why are you here? Isn't it against the rules for you to help a fellow rider out? And it's obvious that she said, well, yes, it's against the rules, but after Girori has broken multiple rules already, I mean, the rule book is thrown out the door. Don't tell anybody. And so Ace asks about his mom, Mitsume. And it's obvious from the reaction Tsumori has been like, the reaction from her face is like, oh, it can't be. And it's obvious that she knows something, but I'm guessing that she's bound by her oath to not say anything in regards to her. And Ace is like, okay, it's fine, it's okay. I kind of knew you wouldn't tell me, but I'll figure it out one way or another. Now, we get to Keiwa and Sarah. And this is something that will make or break his decision on going after Ace. So Keiwa asks his little sister, would it make you happy to see our parents again? Now, here's the part where I felt that her answer was a bit deflecting, yet it's not. Because when Keiwa asked her, do you want to see our parents again? And she pretty much says she's happy with her life. She's happy where she's at. She's happy to be living with her brother. She is happy that, everything's going well, living a healthy life, and eventually in the future she might find someone to be a family with and live separate lives. And it's something that she feels that her parents will be happy for. So her answer to me, again, felt a little bit deflecting, but at the same time, she pretty much said she is happy. And she knows that her parents is happy for her right now. And this is where Keiwa finally has made his choice, because this line where, like, he wants to have his parents back, not just for himself, but for his sister, to see her on her day of her wedding, like, to walk her down the aisle, to see her in her new wedding dress. And that's where he finally made his decision. And here I thought, we have powerful moments. To me, this scene just felt like, wow. It kind of got to me right there. Even though it's hard, because I'm a Daedric prince. I have no heart. I eat, soul cookies. So, yeah. So we have this next scene where Neon approaches her papa, and knowing the truth about, her family being one of its sponsors to the DGP, and her dad was like, oh, it's only a matter of time. Okay. He's like, well, all right, I knew you would. So he's kind of happy that his daughter, knows the truth now. And Neon asks for a favor. Now we get to Ace being hunted by the Rider Hounds, and then meets Keiwa on the top of a old building, and the fighting starts. And again, the fighting style, and just as a whole, it's pretty good. I have to admit, the fighting, stunts, everything so far in Geats has been really, really good. So it's arm cannon versus arm cannon. And you can tell that Ace has the upper hand because he is an expert fighter, so he knows. And you see him kicking Keiwa's ass. So much so that Girori had to interfere again. So he transforms into Kamen Rider Glare and tries to kill Ace. Luckily, Keiwa stepped in and stopped the attack. And guess what? It was all part of the plan. So Keiwa had this plan to make Girori show himself, so he needed to be vulnerable in order for Girori to show up and interfere. Next thing you know, Neon comes in with the kid with the suit, which finally has a name, and his name is Nimaru, the game producer. Like I said earlier, everybody has a master. Everybody has its masters. So, anyways, Nimaru comes in. He sees what went down, and then there's a clip of what happened to Punjak, and it's very sad. We thought that Ace was the one who killed Punjak, but no, it wasn't the case. Mind control Punjak was turned into a rider bomb. Because you see on top of the mind control probe on Punjak's head, it started to detonate. Starting beep, 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 beep. So Punjak became a time bomb. Luckily, Ace pushes him out of the way, and it just exploded. So it's just, damn, it's sad to see Punjak go the way that he did, and it's very sad. Yeah, so Punjak is dead, not by Ace's hand. And so you have Keiwa doing his speech that you shouldn't be interfering in the game, you shouldn't be trampling people's desires, their lives, because, come on, many people who came before, during, and eventually in the future will have their dreams, their desires, they want to fight for them. And all that Girori is doing is trampling over them. He's using writers to do his bidding. Like, this shouldn't be allowed. And then, as you can imagine, Girori is mighty upset. So it's 3-on-1. And, and I'm gonna butcher it. Nimaru just stands there and just watching the whole thing. And they have their mini fight. And then finally, the game producer, Nimaru, just steps in between them and just says, you know what? You're fired. You're no longer the game master. You're done. And of course, Girori just says everything I've done is for the good of the DGP. Ace is a threat. How would you go on without me? And the Yamato, the Squidwards are getting stronger and stronger. Like, how would you do it without me? And guess what? He said that, we could always find somebody else. And he got Thanos. So Girori has been Thanos. His rider belt drops on the floor. And the game producer takes it, tells the 3 surviving riders, thank you so much, have a nice day, and he disappears. That's it. No apology whatsoever. So Girori is no longer the game master, and he has been Thanos. All 3 riders get together. Keiwa knows the truth about Ace's intentions thanks to Neon, and now he wants Ace to fight fair and square, but Ace is like, I don't think it's possible because this is the first time in history that no God of Desire has been crowned because remember, Ace has destroyed the final boss, and then Girori had to step in and make this new game in order to get rid of Ace and all that cluster crap. So they don't know what's gonna happen next. Then that's when Sumori comes in, tells all three that you're gonna be a part of the new tournament. You're gonna be continuing as Kamen Riders. You are officially part of the new tournament. And let me check my notes before I miss it, before I continue. Yes, the important scene. Well, that and the final scene. So we cut into the evil greenhouse of doom of the Squidwards, and we see the evil greenhouse man, and then he goes into some kind of room in the greenhouse, and he spots a corpse, thinking that it's fertilizer. But guess what? Guess who the corpse is? Michinaga's. And what's even more interesting is that he is still alive. He is breathing. And the greenhouse man believes it's due to zombies' power. So Michinaga is still alive. Now we get to the final shocking, important scene of the year. Because remember, this is the final episode before the new year. So Neon, Keiwa, and Ace are in the Temple of Desire. And they're part of the new tournament now. And we get this shocking revelation. Apparently, the Desire Grand Prix is more than just, trying to save the world. This tournament is a reality show where everybody is watching this whole shindig go down. So it's a reality writer show. It's a game show. And you see all these eyes going around the temple, and you see through the cameras, you see all these people in their couches, their sofas, watching this going down. We see the game producer there. We see Neon's father there. We see a couple of new characters watching this as well. And yeah, that's it. A new chapter, a new era, a new arc of Kamen Rider Geats will begin in the new year. And that's the end of episode 16. Wow, this Christmas episode had everything that I wanted. The shocking factor, the whole shake it up story, And yeah, we didn't have the sad part because that belongs to Michinaga. And yeah, so the Desire Grand Prix is nothing more than a game show. So this gives me Hunger Games. And wow. Like, this episode, I didn't foresee Girori being eliminated because, remember, I thought that he will stay in the show, in the game, trying to get his title back. That he will be a part of the tournament with the other riders, and he will be a potential threat for the other riders because he is an expert. And because he's the game master, he knows everything, and that would have been his Ace's Simai. But for him to be Thanos the way that he did, that kind of like pulled the rug underneath me. And he ain't coming back, because thanks to this picture, he got his flowers. He is officially gone from the show. I don't know that this will maybe I don't know if Yuya made a mistake, because like I said before, he would have been a good threat towards Ace being one of them for a while, being part of the tournament, him winning, countering Ace this and there, and just give him something like a rival. But no, he's officially gone. And now with the tournament, the Desire Grand Prix being a game show, I wonder how the riders will take it. And this is Hunger Games. This is Hunger Games. So it's sure their main goal is to save the world. Well, at the same time, might as well get entertained by it, right? Because when you think about it, it makes total sense. Because you're part of a tournament to save the world, and you win something if you're the sole survivor, which is the wish you wrote on the card. And you can remake the world based on your wish, based on your desire. And then this added twist happens, that all these eyes, this show, and you have people watching you do your thing. Be like, man. This changes everything, guys. It really does. And again, I wonder what this new era of Geats, will bring. It's sad that Punchak is gone. Girori is obviously gone as well. So I wonder how things will turn out. Now I'm starting to ramble. I don't know what to say right after, because this episode is a good cliffhanger, because this whole thing about the tournament being like a game show, and I don't know how Kayla will handle it, because the idea of people watching him getting hurt, to seeing other riders die for their people's amusement, I don't know how he's gonna handle it. And the way Tsumori said it as such, the Desire Grand Prix is a reality rider show beloved by sponsors and audiences. It's the world salvation entertainment. Does it ring a bell a little bit? Because here's the thing, I think Yuya is a fan of WWE. Because mind you, Ace does the Too Sweet. And it's something that the Bullet Club does. And of course, with Triple H, Shawn Michaels, they do the Too Sweet. Because that's their thing. And to say it's the World Salvation Entertainment, World Wrestling Entertainment, does it connect? Maybe Yuya is not just a fan of the WWE. I believe he's a fan of wrestling as a whole. So I get this feeling that Yuya is gonna input wrestling into this show. He's already put in Hunger Games into this show. Now he's gonna add wrestling into it, because remember, the Too Sweet thing, World Salvation Entertainment. Oh man, this is gonna be a very fun new year because if it turns out there's more reference to pro wrestling, to Hunger Games, then you can tell that Yuya is a fan of those things. I haven't seen Hunger Games, I can care less, but when it comes to pro wrestling like WWE, AEW, I'm a fan of those. So, yeah, I will point those out. Other than that, I mean, that is it, guys. This is the last Riderpiece Theater of the year, believe it or not, because Kamen Rider and Sentai are having a break because of New Year's week, and it's going to return January 8th. So I'm going to have a long break. Um, so enjoy your break as well, guys. Enjoy your Christmas and your New Year's. But I have to ask you guys the usual questions. Did you like the episode? Did you dislike the episode? And if so, if you were the writer, what would you change? Also, did I miss anything? Because, sometimes I do miss some important things, but, did I miss anything? Um, and also, my question is, what do you think of these shocking revelations? With Girori being gone, and the Desire Grand Prix is more than a game show, not Game of Thrones, Hunger Games style, wrestling style. What do you guys think about that? So thank you so much for listening. Please give a like if you like it. If you didn't like it, thank you so much for listening to me this long and far. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. And of course, as always, I will see you all on the other side of oblivion. Ja ne.